Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a testing new makeup. I honestly haven't worn a ton of makeup, I feel like, in the past week or so. I have not been feeling the best mental health wise, and I feel like it's always so hard for me to like put makeup on. So I've been uploading a lot of kind of shopping content, which I also love doing on my channel, and stuff where I don't really have to be on camera. But I just got my Pat McGrath palette in the mail, the new one. This one is the Moonlit Seduction. So I was like, we have to film today, so we're gonna do a testing new makeup. I also just filmed a PR unboxing, so usually around this time I like to go through my box of new goodies, pull out some other things so we could test it all on camera. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to go ahead and do my eyes first today, so just priming as per usual. I don't always film me putting eye primer on, but trust me, I always use it for every single palette. I'm just using the NARS smudge proof eyeshadow base, which I swear is never ending because I've had this for I feel like 2 or 3 years and it's still not empty, which is nuts. We're gonna go ahead and dive into this new palette here. We're gonna unwrap it. I don't think this is available like on Sephora yet, but I did order it off Pat McGrath and mine just came today, which is Friday. I do tend to buy a lot of the Mothership palettes, and this one I really liked the color story. So here's what it looks like. Gorgeous. I will say though, the only hesitation I had with buying this is that Pat McGrath tends to do the same rosy shades for crease colors, and it's just very much outdone at this point. Like, can we get some other colors for the crease? She loves her roses and pinks, but they're in every single palette, but everything else was right up my alley if you just cancel out those two. So I really wanted to go ahead and try this one. So using my Refer 13 brush, I'm going to go ahead and take this rosy color in the crease. Would have loved to see maybe more of a warm brown instead. And just going to blend this above here. Next we're going to go in with the dark matte brown. Thank you, Pat, for at least putting this in the palette, because a lot of her palettes don't have a dark matte brown like this, and I use these all the time for my outer corner because I love a good smoky look. So what's kind of interesting here is I feel like this is more of a cool tone brown, so it's not meshing the best with the warm rosy crease color. So another reason why I wish those crease colors were a little bit more on the cooler side so that they would match up more. For shimmers, I feel like a lot of people are going to be using this color here. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you. So I do want to do something a little bit different, but this is one of those really special sparkle shades that kind of shifts. It's like a multi-chrome. It's so beautiful. Look how shiny that is. And then there's this one that's a little bit more chunky. And then this gold looks really pretty as well. Very just glittery. I'm actually going to dive into this color on my brush and place this on the lid. I did wet my brush a little bit too. This is a really fun, just kind of grungy, smoky silver. I really like this shade. I'm gonna try just placing my finger in this like sparkle and kind of tap that on the eye as well. I don't know if this will do much. I feel like that just lightened it up a smidge. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the eye look. It actually came out super gorgeous. I feel like this is actually a little bit more wearable for a Pat McGrath palette if you want something wearable with also being a little colorful and having some fun chrome shades that you could switch it up with. That's why I bought this, because I felt like it was a little bit more unique in my collection. I definitely think it could have been better, again, switching out those rosy mattes that we already have 10 times over in her palettes. And it performed great from what I can tell. All right, for my base or foundation, we're gonna use some Hourglass. I'm using the Vanish Primer. This is the airbrush one. This is my favorite. I'm just gonna focus this in my T-zone here. And I've kind of talked about the new foundation a bit if you watched my Sephora haul, but you guys get to see it again in action. I did a self-tan a couple days ago. We'll see if this will still match. But this is the new Soft Glow foundation, and I actually really been liking it. I wasn't sure about it in my first impression, but I just feel like this is so long wearing and it gives me the perfect coverage. It is beautiful on the skin, and I feel like if you're oily, this is a really nice foundation, especially. Check out the coverage on this. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. For concealer, we're trying out this new one in my collection, actually by Purlisse. This is their Perfect Glow BB Concealer. It says oil-free and moisturizing. It's supposed to be natural looking coverage, a matte meets glossy finish. I'm just gonna put some on my hand and then we'll blend it out with a brush. I'm using the shade Light. I feel like it's actually doing a pretty good job. It's really brightening that area. And I would say the coverage is decent as well. Maybe a slight bit see-through, so it is probably more of a medium coverage, but just look at the difference. It feels really nice too. Like, it feels almost hydrating. It doesn't feel dry at all. I really love the Purlisse Perfect Glow BB cream that this is based off of, and they're such an underrated brand. I feel like no one talks about them. I don't know if these are out yet, but they are coming very soon. I think it was an August launch, but I just got these in the mail and I was so excited to try them out. I love trying out new powders. It's the Soft Focus Setting Powder. So we're gonna try this under the eyes and all over the face. There is a couple different shades. So first one I'm using is Vanilla Bean. I'm gonna use their new brush they sent over as well. This is the F12 brush. It's the perfect shape to reach under the eyes. All right, so that's how that looks. Very smoothing. It seems a little maybe on the drier side of powder, but we'll see how it holds up with our concealer. But it looks very flawless under the eyes still. It definitely mattified though. I am gonna actually quickly skip over to my eyebrows here. I did feature this in my Sephora haul too, but this is the new Patrick Ta Major Brow Pencil. Figured we would use this again because it is new if you guys need a refresher on how this one is. But I actually really love this. This is the blonde shade, I believe. And it does run a little more cool toned, but it has such a fine tip, so it really is precise at getting your brows drawn in. I'm going to use their lamination gel with that. Some of you guys said that you have issues with this product flaking. I personally have never had that happen, but you want to make sure you're not using too much product. I just gently brush it through, and I don't even dip it in again, because if you're going to overcoat the brow, then maybe. But I just kind of use one dip in for both brows and just push everything up. I don't really go for this super laminated brow though. Mine is just kind of an in-between, but this does work really good for that feathered effect. I am going to go ahead and use the new NARS Cream Bronzer. This is in the shade Laguna 02, their original, but I've heard it's a little different than when it came out last year for the first time, because I actually did not like it last year. So we're going to see if I like it any better this time around. I just took a very small amount. I did also get a question, what kind of a brush do you use for cream bronzer? I love a rounded brush like this that's like dense, so not too soft. I use the BK Beauty 106, and then I just kind of tap it into the skin to blend it, just very lightly. So the shade actually does seem a little bit better. I feel like last time it was so dark on me, very orange. This is looking a little nicer. It's still very warm, but the other one that was a shade lighter looked too light. I can see why people are really liking this one because it is really easy to use. How gorgeous is this bronzer, you guys? I'm shocked. I really didn't think I was gonna like it because I really, again, I hated this when it first came out. It's so much better, and I don't know how, but it feels almost thinner. It's so soft on the skin, it blends out so easily, and the color is perfect. Okay, I'm really, really happy with this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face. I like to powder after all my cream products are on and before I put any other powders on. So I'm gonna use the Sigma again. I'm gonna try the darker color, which is Buttermilk. It has almost an orangey undertone though, so I don't know how it's gonna look. So they also sent a new brush for this one. This is the All Over Powder F24. And we'll just go ahead and set everything. I kind of like to do a little baking motion here underneath my bronzer. So on the skin, I was seeing if this powder changed the color. It actually almost looks a little bit more golden on the skin, so it gives us a little warmth. But I feel like if you have a medium skin tone or a light medium, you might like this shade better than the fair if you just want to add a little something. It definitely looks very matte, and it also looks very smooth to me. I almost forgot mascara, so let's do that. I actually do have a new one in my collection to use. This is new from Bare Minerals. It's called the Maximist Mascara. Honestly, I haven't loved a ton of the Bare Minerals mascaras that have come out in the past years, so I'm curious to see how this one's gonna go. I think they also own Buxom, and I also haven't been too impressed with theirs. This almost looks like the Buxom mascara. It's just called the mascara, I think. So we'll see. It's a humongous brush. We'll see if it does anything for us. I feel like mascaras are always something that I am the most pickiest about when trying new makeup. For having such a large brush, the lashes do look pretty separated. It is getting kind of a lot of product on the brush though, so that can be a little bit of a downer. I hate when my brushes are all clumped with mascara. The lashes do maybe look a little bit short. I don't have super long lashes to begin with. I definitely wouldn't say it's a bad product, but that's the lashes. For our blush, I just picked this one up in my Sephora haul, also from Pat McGrath. I'm finally trying out her little blush duos. This one is called Aphrodite Amore. We're going to use this one on the cheeks. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 107 brush and just get a little bit of both colors. Tap any excess off. I feel like when I swatched this, it looked a lot more like pink, but now it's looking more coral. I feel like it's a really nice softness, like the pigment isn't too much, but it's also very buildable. So it's actually a very pretty bright peach color. It looks beautiful on the cheeks. Okay, and then the last thing to try out today is a new lip product from Urban Decay. These are called the Lip Bonds Unbreakable Liquid Lip Color. They kind of sent me some crazy shades, so I'm not sure how these are gonna look. Maybe I can mix some, but it's supposed to be Instant Shine and All Day Intensity. We're gonna try out this kind of orange color called Please, and if it looks awful, I can mix in a little pink. Okay, the shade is not bad. It's definitely like a caramel orange. I've seen these being compared with the Maybelline lip vinyls, which I think they're under the same company of L'Oreal. And so I was curious how similar they would be. And I feel like these feel a little bit more drier than the Maybelline. They're feeling a little sticky as they dry down. I might actually try mixing just a smidge of this pink one in Cuffed Up just to see what kind of color we can get if we can mix and match shades. So it kind of made a little bit of a peach. I feel like that looks a little bit better with the eyes. So we'll see if it dries down all the way and gets rid of that sticky feeling. But this is how the look came out so far. We had quite a few hits in this video, not a whole lot of fails quite yet. But what I like to do in these videos is I usually leave my makeup on for a few hours and come back and show you guys how the stuff actually is wearing, because I feel like that's the most important part rather than a first impression. I will see you guys in a few hours so I can update you guys on my thoughts on all of these products we used. Okay guys, I am back. It has been about 4 hours. The makeup is still looking really good. I have been running all around my house cleaning up, so been a little warm in here, and I do have some shine going on with my oily skin. So I just wanted to share that, but I'm gonna go ahead and powder over top of that because underneath it actually looks very flawless still. Let's start with our Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. Again, I think this is beautiful. I'm unsure how these toppers are really gonna look on their own, so I don't know if it's worth like the full price. I know that Pat McGrath does tons of sales, so if it's something you're thinking about but you're just not sure, I would definitely wait maybe a month or two. There'll definitely be another sale, either 30% off, 40% off. It always happens with her website, so I do buy her stuff full price to review, but honestly, any other consumer, I would say just wait for a good sale. But I am overall really impressed with this palette. I think it's beautiful. Kind of talked about the kind of color scheme in the beginning, so that's my thoughts on that. I'm still loving the Hourglass foundation. I feel like it looks even better as you wear it. When you first put it on, it could look a little bit thick and it kind of shows texture a bit, but as my natural oils come through, it does look so flawless and it really wears all day. I feel like these Sigma powders are also going to be a pretty big hit, although I don't know how great they are at controlling oil. They just make the skin look so smooth and just matte overall in the beginning. I'll definitely have to do a couple more tests with this to see how it wears, see if it does control oil, because I just did get a little bit oily, but I just don't know if that's because of the powder or if it's just because I've been kind of running around the house and stuff. So this will require some testing, but like it really smoothed our under eyes and I feel like it looked really good on the skin, so that one's a win for me so far. I also really enjoyed, surprisingly, the NARS cream bronzer. I feel like this still looks really beautiful, very natural. I forgot to mention this one does have a kind of a strong scent to it, but this was just a really easy to use, such a pretty bronzer. Really enjoy this one as well. Our blush also still looks really good. It's still on, looking strong. So Pat McGrath blushes, they're really good in these duos. They feel like the normal ones, just added in with some different colors. You could go one or the other or mix them together like I did. These are really nice blushes. The Patrick Ta brown pencil you guys already know I liked from my Sephora haul. Let's talk about the Maximus Bare Minerals mascara. So far this one, it does look good. It hasn't really smudged, but I'm noticing just a couple flakes under the eyes from the mascara possibly, but I mean, overall I think it's an okay mascara, but it's not wowing me as some of my other top favorites in my collection are, so I think it's a nice mascara, but it's not a favorite mascara so far. We also have our Pure Release concealer. Honestly, very impressed by this as well. I'd never seen my under eyes looking this smooth after wearing a concealer. It's usually all cracked and you can see my lines and everything. I feel like this looks so good, so I attribute that to the concealer and maybe powder mix, but this is so nice. It reminds me a little bit of like the NYX like serum concealer. I feel like it's kind of similar, but oh my gosh, this is so good. I think this would be really flattering if you guys do have a lot of lines or if you do have more mature skin. I feel like this would be really nice. And then last but not least, this might be my major failed product of the video, but these Urban Decay lip lacquers, the lip bonds, I just don't like these. I do not like the formula. They've been sticky all day. Like my lips, like they stick together. I'm not a fan of that feeling. Definitely go ahead and buy the Maybelline lip vinyls instead. They may not be as quite long lasting, but they do leave a stain on the lips with the Maybelline, but they like glide and they don't like stick like these do. I'm just not really enjoying these. Also, the colors they sent are a little off for me, so I would say pass on these. I don't think they're worth it. So that is it for my first impressions on these products, trying everything out. For the most part, we had some major hits, I think. I will definitely have to update you guys in some speed reviews videos, letting you guys know if I really love them. You'll definitely see them in favorites videos as well. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.